I am JD Vance. Today I'm joined by Tim Walls. Welcome to tonight's CNN, NBC, ABC vice presidential debates. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wrong one. Oh, this is episode 150 of the Drunk Doctor Who podcast.
Our sesquicentennial.
Where is the 100 and a half?
We're talking about the 150th story.
That's like a...
Delta and The Bannermen.
C? C is 50. What's 100? C is 100. No, C's 50.
C's 100.
C's
L
100.
is 50.
Okay. We're this.
Right.
We're on this Super Bowl right now.
Okay.
Where did we discuss? Oh, we already said that.
Yeah. So
only 3 episodes this week, November 2nd to November 16th.
Yep. So Delta and The Bannermen, we're on the 7th Doctor. It was 3 episodes. Aired November 2nd, November 16th, 1987. The companion is Mel. Yep. The antagonists are Gavrok and the Bannermen. Delta is a good guy. Or a good lady. Alright, anyway.
She's a weird lady. I mean, would you say objectively she's good? Or was she just kind of...
Okay, we don't know. Alright, 3 episodes.
Preserving.
This should have... Okay, this is when they were trying to kill Doctor Who by not giving it a budget.
It was working, man. They killed the serial. It was not good.
So 3 episodes, should have been at least 4, minimum, because there's no explanation for anything whatsoever.
It specifically, it puts in the plot point where she's explaining it, and then it just cuts away, so the audience doesn't get any of the explanation.
Right.
They're just saying, this was explained. You don't get to know what's going on.
Yeah, we don't know why her Cimmerian race is at war with the Bannermen. We don't know why the Gavrok is so specifically trying to kill her. We don't know why or how so much goes on in this. Gavrok's got a John Wick assassin network out there.
Yeah.
And one of them just happens to be on the bus that she ends up on, and we have no clue how that happened.
Well, I'm guessing they were looking for her. Here's my theory, is that the Bannermen are like galactically renowned mercenaries or hitmen, basically. And they were hired to take out the last line of royalty in the Cimmerians. Because I'm sure they're trying to do some birthright thing. And you know, like how they had cut off bloodlines to take
the
over.
Shapeshifter.
Cimmerian? What are they called? Cimmerians?
Yeah, it's a shapeshifter.
They're shapeshifters? The green lady?
We don't know if she's a shapeshifter, but that's basically what that word means.
Right, like chameleon.
Yeah.
Cimmerian. Cimmerian. I didn't know if it was specifically the shapeshifter word, or if it's just kind of like similar.
I don't know. Oh, by the way, I'm Hatter. This is Holden.
JD
Thanks
Vance.
for joining us. I am drinking Russian standard vodka, and he's drinking water because he's got a dry phone. He's taking a break from alcohol for a while, which is fine. At least one of us is drunk. All right.
Next week I'm going to bring my blunt. Just kidding.
Okay, so this serial is very strange in several ways. First of all, the sets. It looks like they found an old abandoned
Wales.
Wales. Right, Wales.
They're Welsh.
Okay, so it looks like for the very beginning, they never showed the inside the TARDIS. Well, they do a little bit. But it looks like they found an old abandoned power station for the depot.
It was... They didn't pay much for any of their filming locations.
Right. The second location, besides the fight in the quarry, which there's always going to be the fights in the quarry,
They have that quarry on retainer.
Yeah, is Shangri-La, which was like at that point an old
like
abandoned
motel
holiday camp.
Yeah.
So
motel. That's the outside rooms, right?
Yeah.
The hotel. Okay.
Yeah, motor hotel is what it stands for.
Huh?
Where you just pull up to your room.
Yeah. So the bus people, except it wasn't the. Well, we didn't even describe the bus thing.
Yeah. Okay. So
how many deaths? Spoiler.
There's a lot of deaths.
I did not keep track.
You didn't?
I tried.
There's like 60 or so deaths in this. Depending on how you count the bus.
That's the problem.
Yes. All right. So this whole serial is a real odd duck. It's just weird. The whole thing plays out like a Benny Hill chase scene.
Yeah, they had like the big climax of the base defense scene in episode 3 is very. It's like they're taking all the Doctor Who tropes and they just smashed as many as they could in this little 3-episode serial. They're like, we'll have these chase scenes, we'll have some action. We won't explain anything. We'll have a space scene,
right?
Crash scene, base defense.
It needed to be at least 4 episodes just to explain stuff. But the choppiness of we're not gonna ask what's his face to have beeswax. We're just gonna assume it. We're not gonna.
Where's the beeswax?
Yeah, we're not gonna explain anything to the audience or to the guy. We're just gonna make sure it happens. And it's like boom, 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 boom. This happens. This happens. This happens. This happens. This happens.
Because there's nothing really to explain. It's just they're deciding not to explain plot holes and weak script writing. It just shows the Doctor setting up his booby trap. You're like, oh, he must be setting up some ingenious. No, it's just like a little trip and it knocks over a shelf behind you. Like, they did not spend. It's like they wrote this serial during a writer's strike, and it's just like the film crew and special effects. They're like, we've no idea how to write a plot. Well, they're just like.
It's like when the NFL refs go on strike and they bring in the refs from college. They don't quite know what they're doing. It's kind of like that. You got the.
Has that happened?
Yes, it has happened actually.
They bring in college football refs for the.
Yes, that has happened before. The refs did strike, and they brought in substitute refs who are no good.
Well, I mean, the college football rules are different, aren't they?
Yes, but I mean, you can know both sets of rules.
Yeah, but how often is that applicable? I'm sure they don't have extra refs on
XFL? I don't know. But anyway, so
that like ruined game calls though.
Yes,
right?
There were a lot of bad calls during that season, and about halfway through the season, the NFL had to capitulate and bring in the proper refs because there were too many bad calls.
So they got like their pay raise or whatever they were striking for.
Yeah. By the way, sorry we've been gone for 4 months.
Welcome to season 2.
Nah, life happened. Like
lots of life.
Death happened. Lots of death.
There was COVID 2.0. We stayed indoors 2 weeks to curve the.
No,
we went into another lockdown.
So, like everybody and their pet duck had a bad month last month.
Oh, everyone's getting sick too. That's going around.
Well, not only that, like a bunch of deaths for me and so like that. Yeah. So I've heard last month referred to as shit-tember, and I'm cool with that.
Yes. I think that about sums it up.
Here's the shit-tember being over. Cheers. Oh my god.
What do we call October? Something more positive.
I'm praying hopefully it's good.
Here's the good tober.
We'll take it. Better than shit-tember. Alright. But yeah, the whole world's falling apart. I'm not going to get into details about the current affairs, but you know what they are, and they're stupid.
It's finally going to cool down a little bit next week. We have a high of like 68 next week, 69, which doesn't sound really cool, but when you compare it to like the 96,
that sounds perfect to me.
The 89s that we've been having.
I mean, all the hurricanes going on, all the earthquakes.
Yeah, it's like we're getting a nice little breeze.
All the earthquakes, all the wars, all the everything. The disease.
End times, man. The Middle East is scaring me. The latest Iron Dome assault.
You've read Revelations.
Yes, it's all happening.
Yeah, it is. And you heard about what the Pope said, right?
So they say this every time they have an intifada, but this is the first one that like Iran's directly getting involved with attacking Israel through missile strikes. Like that's
they grounded all their planes in Iran.
Yeah. Before
because they're waiting for the retaliation from Israel.
Oh right. Are they? You think they're going to strike at nuclear plants or something?
They should strike at nuclear facilities and oil refineries. Okay. So, lots has happened in the world. Anyway, There's a tie into Doctor Who here, actually.
Oh, with the Middle East conflicts?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so you heard about the pagers and the walkie-talkies, right?
Yeah.
The guy that got blown up at the end of episode 1, or at the beginning of episode 2.
Oh,
yes!
he got ionized.
Yes.
What?
Isn't that hilarious?
That's so dark.
It is dark.
No, I never would have thought you. Basically, yeah.
It blew up. Oh
you think the guy that came up with that, like, saw that episode of Doctor Who and was like,
We're
that's a good idea right there.
All right.
Booby trap the pagers.
Okay. Anyway, let's get on to actual plot. Okay.
There isn't any.
There's a really simple plot. This is like when you're doing fan fiction, or not quite as bad as the modern stuff for that, because the modern stuff is really
worse
bad fan
than
fiction.
The Bannermen?
Yeah.
The modern stuff is worse than this.
Some of it. Okay. Some of it is much worse.
Plot-wise.
Like was it Planet 33 or whatever is horrible.
Can't wait.
Yeah. No, Orphan. It's Orphan 33 or 23 or whatever. All right. Yeah, there's a time in modern Doctor Who that's just really bad, and I haven't even seen the latest series. Oh, news at the end about some of that, because we've got 4 months we haven't had any news because we haven't had any episodes. All right. So anyway, Delta and the Bannermen is actually an homage to Echo and the Bunnymen, a 1980s pop group from England.
Oh yeah,
it is. It literally was. They've stated that.
Echo and the Bunnymen.
Echo and the Bunnymen.
That was a band?
Yes. And this is Delta and the Bannermen.
So it's just a reference to like a UK pop band or something?
Well, yeah, it's a UK show. And they were just kind of homaging it. Like I said, some of this seems like bad fan fiction.
Was that band big at the time in 1987?
Early 80s, mid 80s, yes. Not like Pink Floyd big, but really like big for the new wave movement and stuff.
So it's not a so subtle reference. Like everyone
knew. Yeah, everyone got the
Okay.
reference, and it's cute. It's cute. All right, so everything opens up, and you have these bannermen with the actual banners. Think Japanese style, flying behind them. Not everyone has the banners, but enough of the men do.
Yeah, like over half of them have the banner poles on the back.
Correct. Very Japanese style. Yeah.
Inconvenient. Yeah, very Shogun.
They're fighting these other people who look like. This is another reason it's really weird. They look like plastic army men. The actual little plastic green army men you played with as a kid.
Those were also Chimerians, but not the queen bees. Those were the workers.
Yeah.
So they weren't meant to actually look like little green army men. That's what I thought with like.
No, they seem to look like little green army men.
It seemed like a Toy Maker episode where there were little green army men fighting, and then the conductor came out and he had the toy horn. I'm like, what's going on? But no, it's supposed to be way more grounded than that. It's like a sci-fi,
like the toy
alien drama.
Yeah, there's so much that's not explained. Anyway, so you've got the Bannermen and Gavrok, and they kill all these little toy soldier dudes, and they've apparently genocided this entire planet of chimeras or Cimarrons, and we don't know why. We don't know why.
Never explained.
Yeah.
Again, my theory is that they're like a mercenary battalion.
Yeah.
And then the Chimerians had some royal birthright to something. So someone else was trying to get them all wiped out. At least the queen, Delta.
So Delta manages to escape. And we've got like 7 deaths in the first episode.
With an egg?
Delta manages to escape with the egg.
Doesn't show the egg till later.
In one of the Bannerman's ships, because all their ships and all their people are destroyed.
So she lays eggs.
Queen Bee? Okay.
Do you think Billy knows that? He didn't see the egg hatch.
That is correct, but he saw the baby.
He thinks he's in for a normal relationship.
No, I think he's
But
just
does she
in love.
have like one of those bird things? Cloaca? That you lay eggs out of? Like chickens? It's called a cloaca.
Okay.
Do you know, it's an everything hole. Birds just have the one hole. It's for eggs and everything else.
Okay. I was good not knowing that. All right. Okay, so she escapes in the spaceship with the egg. You don't know it's an egg yet. Looks like a little disco ball.
Yeah, some...
Yeah. So she escapes.
I was so lost this whole serial.
Right. Then
every time I looked up from writing something down, it was just something completely weird happening on screen.
Alright, so the Doctor and Mel land the TARDIS on this G17 spaceport spot or something. It looks like an old abandoned power station or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird. And
that's the set they could afford.
Yeah. And this guy comes out, which he seems to be a character actor, and he's got really, really, really bad British teeth, like really bad teeth.
And those weren't even prosthetics. That's like the actor's teeth.
Teeth, yeah. And you could tell.
He was authentically British.
Yeah. Ouch. Okay. So the Doctor and Mel just happened to arrive at this spot and just happened to have won. They were the 10 billionth customers to go through the spaceport.
Yes. Free ride.
And they get a free ride on a bus that just happens to be going to Earth, 1959 Disneyland.
All very suspicious coincidences.
Yeah. So,
which all turn out to be nothing more than an utter coincidence.
They're all plot contrivances. There's a lot of MacGuffin.
MacGuffin, yeah. It's just this so happened to happen to push the plot along.
Exactly.
Which is this whole serial. Like, nothing makes sense.
Exactly.
It's just, well, that was lucky.
Okay, that happened, sure. So, they've got these odd, weird purple thingies with the suckers that...
Yeah, like
from the planet, the moon...
It's like a...
Xymon or something weird?
Yeah, it's that trope of Dune or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy where the drivers or the pilots are all these like weird, complex alien creatures, and that's why they're able to pilot the ships or whatever. But then the pilot's walking out, and they transpond him into a normal-looking human.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Zygon effect where they can look human or they can look like themselves if they go through a transformation arch, which, to be fair, is not too dissimilar from the chameleon arch in that the Time Lords have.
Chameleon arch.
Alright.
Chameleon circuit.
So
they have an arch and they walk through it and
they look human. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it actually makes them. It transmogrifies them into basically a humanoid shape.
Wait, Time Lords aren't normally human-like humanoids?
No, Time Lords are.
Oh, what are they transforming into humans?
Those things from that other planet, the purple sucker thingies.
I thought you said the Time Lords had a chameleon arch.
But they have a chameleon arch, which is different from...
But it's not for them.
No, it is. It changes their Okay.
Oh, to something other than humanoid.
Yes and no. Okay, so apparently you can go through a chameleon arch and disguise yourself as another physiology. So Time Lord
goes...
like
a different species, like a...
Well, yeah, you'll still...
genome...
A different physiology. So the Doctor goes through a chameleon arch and becomes physiologically human.
So
with
he doesn't
heart.
have the one heart.
Right. And he won't register on things like that. But apparently...
So he is actually a human?
Well, he can be basically human-like, yes.
But he still
keeps
his
all the other stuff gets put into a fob watch.
Oh, the Fabot. So he doesn't have like his same Time Lord intellect when he's in human form?
He's still brilliant, but
just not the same powers.
Right, and knowledge and all that. And apparently, whatever the hell the Doctor was originally became a Time Lord by doing the same thing, and I hate that. I hate the all that crap.
What if all of my extra intellect and smarts I put into a fob watch somewhere?
Mm-hmm.
I lost it.
You'd be pretty screwed.
That explains this.
All right.
I've lost my marbles.
Okay, so all of these species from that weird planet get on a bus. It looks like a bus from the 1950s. Reminds me very much of the ship in Spaceballs when they've got the little
the magic school bus. The rockets come out the back.
The Doctor takes a TARDIS and he's following them in the bus. Apparently,
I was confused by that too. Sorry, go ahead.
Apparently, the line that does these tours has had a less than stellar history. And they've had some real problems.
So the bus is also like a TARDIS. It's traveling in space and in time, back to the 1950s.
Yes, except it doesn't dematerialize and materialize. They actually have to do the traveling.
Yeah.
So you don't know if the time travel is Einsteinian or not.
Oh, like because they're okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you got these people or these other creatures that look like humans who've gone through the arch, and they were all dressed in 1950s garb, late 50s.
But Delta didn't go through the arch.
Correct. So they line up they get on the bus, and then Delta lands at this G19 whatever thing it is,
and she
runs onto the bus just to keep getting away. Because they had a tracker on that ship, and she sits down the bus in a not 1950s outfit and not Mel outfit, in this weird white honeycomb spandex kind of thing.
Probably the best set costume design of the only cool thing was the suit, like how they designed it to. It looked like it grew with the.
Well, with the baby.
When you get there, and then it changed from like the green when it's bunched up, and then it got lighter as it stretched out.
So she gets on the bus.
They put the most thought into the one outfit, and they put no thought into the rest of the.
So the costume design was pretty good on this. Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah. All right. So the Doctor follows them in the TARDIS. They head out in the space bus, the magic bus or whatever.
They collide with what kind of satellite?
It's a low Earth orbit, early radio satellite.
So like 1950s CIA Uncle Sam.
Oh no, it's a broadcast radio.
Oh, I thought
further out.
But why were the agents looking for it?
Well, that's not explained.
Okay.
All right.
They were spying on commies with this radio satellite until the bus collides.
All right. So there's two American agents. They're not stereotypes or well, they're stereotypes. They're not caricatures, but it's obvious that they're not American to an American ear. They are Brits
playing American because they have the New York.
Right, they're Brits playing stereotypes of Americans.
Was it a baseball team? Is it the?
It was the Yankees.
The Yankees symbol, right? Yeah.
And I mean, you can't blame them.
They're undercover agents.
Right. You can't blame Doctor Who for using local actors rather than American actors.
They did decent at being American.
Yeah, but it's very. They were very stereotypical, and to a British ear, they may have sounded American, but to an American ear, they did not sound American.
Well-traveled American. Maybe they'd been Britain for a while. Why were they in Britain? Wales. They were in Wales. whales?
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't explain that either, does it?
Yeah. They were there to hunt down and track the satellite, or just to see it, or whatever. Okay. So the satellite gets launched.
So like they crashed into it and threw the satellites like off course to whales. They got there fast.
No, I think they were already there for whatever reason to watch the launch.
Ah.
To track it in real time. And then when it crashed...
Why'd they launch it from Wales?
It might have been... no, it said United States on the rocket. Maybe because
so launch from,
the orbit was going to be over the UK. Who knows? The geostationary orbit. Who knows?
They're allies.
Yeah, have been for a long time. Alright, so the bus runs into the satellite because they didn't know it was there because it had just been launched, and it's really basic satellite. The bus starts to fall to Earth. It's supposed to be going to Disneyland, but of course they get off course. And the doctor manages to save the bus by putting an anti-gravitational field under it with just a little bit of miscalculation, so it just hits the ground a little hard. All the people on the bus may or may not know what Disneyland is, but they're also happy to be alive because they were screaming the whole time they were on the bus.
And the BBC could not afford to film at Disneyland.
So they filmed in an old abandoned holiday park, in this case called Shangri-La. Just so happens another group of tourists were supposed to be going to that Shangri-La of vacationers. And so the guy, Murray, what's his name?
Yeah, Murray. The driver?
No, the major.
Oh, was that Murray?
No.
Tollmaster is all he referred to.
No, Murray was the driver. But what's the name of the major? The guy who ran the camp.
Burton?
Yes. So Burton mistakes him for...
My name is Burton.
Yeah, he's an older guy.
I love their accents.
Yeah.
Like the Welsh specifically, who is it? Rachel? What was it that she said?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Or Gorunwi. Oh, me sweet Louise.
No, great accents. So the director of the camp, Burton, who is a major, looks like he fought in both World Wars. This is 1959. And he has a saber we see later on from the First World War, which said he hadn't brandished in 40 years, which would have been 1919. But they called up everybody they could for the Second World War. Anyway, so he mistakes him for another group. Murray and the doctor were the only people who would know. God bless you.
You ever see like the audio waves for the podcast? Every time we sneeze, it's like normal. Like
I don't watch the audio waves for the
speakers out.
podcast. The people are happy to be alive. The customers, the doctor and Murray are like, oh. Well, this is what we kind of came for, even though we're way off course. And so all these people who were mistaken for other people get checked in to Shangri-La.
Yeah. And then Agent Hawk and Weissmuller looking for the satellite, and they come across the TARDIS, and apparently the TARDIS phone works.
Well, no. Okay, that is a different phone box.
That's not the TARDIS.
That is not the TARDIS. That's a different police box.
I thought it was the TARDIS because he mentioned how the phone patched him directly through to the president's right-hand man.
No, that was an actual
and a normal
phone box.
police box wouldn't do that, though, I thought.
No, that is an actual phone box.
I guess it was the operator that put him through.
Right. The TARDIS was not there at the time.
Ah, okay. That makes more sense now.
Yeah. All right, so all the people get checked in.
This line, the cruise line, is called Nostalgia Trips.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody gets checked in their rooms, and Mel...
Knowing these trips, a doctor will be needed.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, what's that one? American Airlines? Which is the one that sucks, that no one likes.
Oh, Spirit?
Delta?
Delta? Yeah,
One of those.
Choice, yeah.
Wherever the one was having all the controversies. The nostalgia trips are on Hard Times. They're like the BBC.
Yeah.
You talked about the TARDIS stabilizing with us? Yeah, they already landed.
Yeah.
Not Disneyland.
Yeah. Paradise, Shangri-La.
So there was supposed to be a different bus of people that showed up that held those rooms.
Yeah, they didn't show up.
Is that the same bus that does eventually show up later?
No, because he knew they were a specific Glee club and not that deal. Yeah.
So those other guys just never showed up.
Yeah, bus trouble.
See, that's all this serial is. It's just like, oh, that's convenient. Oh, here's this other convenient thing. Oh, that works.
and
it really feels like a writer's strike.
And everything looks really shabby, although to be fair, the United Kingdom in the 50s was still in really bad shape and debt from the war. They were on food rations until the 70s.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the United Kingdom won the war with the rest of us allies, the United States, Russia, but they paid a really high price for it. Yeah,
a lot of bombing.
The only people who maybe paid a higher price was France. You know.
What was it?
Yeah, I mean, just it. Well,
French legionnaires are cool.
Huh?
You ever read about the legionnaires?
Yeah.
Legionaries. French legionnaires.
The French Legion.
Legions. Yeah. I read a book or something about them at school.
Oh. You know, Lawrence of Arabia kind of stuff.
And then I played a video game where I got to play as a French legionnaire. I thought that was cool. I was like, I read the book about these people.
Alright, so they all check into their rooms. Mel happens to be put in with Delta, the Cimmerian queen.
We talked about the bus being out of commission, right? Because the satellite...
Oh yeah, well the bus is out of commission.
Smashed up their Hellstorm Fireball engine.
Yep.
Capable of Warp 5 with the tailwind.
A good tailwind.
There's not a tailwind in space.
I don't know.
Oh, and the Doctor's back to mixing up metaphors.
Yeah, he did about 5 times in this serial.
Which normally is like a trope that he does right after regenerating, and he's kind of
scrambled. He doesn't. No, only this Doctor seems to do it.
So like what?
Previous Doctors didn't really do this, but
only when they're real confused or traveling, he would. I think you're right. Yeah.
It's only the 7th Doctor, McCoy.
Like McCoy just does it as part of his personality.
Mm-hmm. A stitch in time saves space. And it's like, wait, what? What the heck?
It's about as funny as an oak door on a submarine.
Exactly.
I think you should make like a tree and
get out of here. All right. Okay. So
Biff.
Okay. So they all check in their rooms, but there's this one guy on the bus, and at Shangri-La, who was just coincidentally going on this tour, who's got these sideburns, who turns out to be an assassin.
I think he was a plant. He had
no. There's no way they could have known that she was going to end up on this bus.
The Bannermen were trying to hunt her down, right?
Right, but she ended up on that bus out of pure randomness. There's no way they could have known.
And then so did he.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Just super coincidence. All right.
Well, maybe it was his day off and he's going on a nostalgia.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And he gets the call. He's like, oh, I'm going to have to do overtime. Here's our target.
It's like John Wick. It was sent out to everybody. Kill John Wick. We want John Wick. All assassins, try to kill John Wick. You'll all die, but we want to kill John Wick.
Is that the third one? How many Wicks are there now? 4? 5?
3 or 4. But the second one was what they did. No,
never been a big fan.
The third one was what they did.
I just thought the premise was kind of silly.
Oh no! The first movie is near perfection.
You killed my dog.
The dog that his dead wife gave him.
I know, but normally it's about the wife.
And his car.
They take the daughter, or they killed his wife.
He was already on the tilt. There's just completely on tilt. And they did that, and it just completely messed with his head, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
For like 3 movies.
Yeah.
4.
All right. So we're introduced to a couple new characters. There is his name Billy?
Billy.
All right. There's a mechanic who's
Rachel, right?
I think
Ray.
So.
They call her for short or something.
So there's Billy, this mechanic, who looks like he's 20. And this Rachel girl, who looks like she's maybe 18, 19. She has a real thing for him, and he apparently doesn't for her.
Apparently. She's such a cutie, though, and they grew up their whole lives together.
Yeah.
So, Billy has friend-zoned Rachel, even though Rachel has had a crush on Billy her whole life, and she's just assuming they're meant to be together someday.
Yeah.
Even though apparently they've never had that conversation. So she doesn't take it well when she finds out that
well, you know what young love is
at
like.
22 years old, he has a crush on someone else.
All right. So,
did he just not date for the first 20 some odd years of his life?
Who knows?
Has she never been in a relationship?
Not explained. Not explained. Not explained. All right. So anyway, he's the singer in a band as well as the mechanic.
Rachel should have been a new companion. Just for the accent alone.
Yeah. Oh no, doctor. By the way, the TARDIS can translate any language whatsoever except in the modern stuff, High or Old Gallifreyan. Mm-hmm. And then the old stuff, apparently Welsh. Because people are talking in Welsh and it's not translated.
The TARDIS is like,
what the heck? Yeah. So the whole TARDIS translation, when they're speaking in Welsh, does not happen.
What about non-verbal communication? Like, could the TARDIS translate sign language?
No clue.
I feel like that'd come up at some point in the modern stuff.
Well, there is...
Like, that would be that's like a trope, right? That aliens that, like, don't have mouths, they just speak in other ways. Or, like, vibrating.
Wait until I show you the curse of fatal death.
Does the TARDIS translate it, though?
No. The Doctor... Well, we don't know. The Doctor just knows the language. But it's about
Does he dance along with them?
No, they can... Okay, the Curse of Fatal Death is a... not a parody. It's a Children in Need special.
Ah.
So it's not meant to be canon at all. But it has Rowan Atkinson playing the Doctor.
Like the Star Wars holiday special.
Yeah. But it has Rowan Atkinson playing the Doctor. And he and the Master... Rowan Atkinson, that's the only time Rowan Atkinson plays the Doctor.
Oh, I've seen this one. I don't remember him dancing.
No, he's not dancing.
The language?
They communicate by fart.
I totally forgot that
the
scene.
The breaking of wind. He and the Master communicate by the breaking of wind. Because the dogs can't smell it, but they can, and they know the language.
They work. And I guess the TARDIS doesn't translate.
I don't think it translates anything that's not
smell. So they're communicating by the smell of the flatulence.
Yeah.
But how do you control that? Isn't that just based off of what you?
Apparently, that's what the people in that race did.
Okay.
That species did. Whatever. Anyway, the TARDIS translates written word. That's been established.
Do you know why they're able to speak that language, though? I assume it has something to do with the fact that Time Lords can breathe through their buttholes.
No.
That they have that extra functionality. That
wait. What was the name of the one hole for chickens?
Cloaca. Time Lords breathe through their cloacas.
No. God. Okay. We're not for the first episode yet.
He's being strangled. What other orifice is he breathing out of?
Alright.
It's just the one from the below the neck.
God, the
That's
scary part is,
respiratory
the
bypass.
scary part is you haven't been drinking.
Oh no. Who needs alcohol? I'm always loopy.
All right, so
To deal with me
yeah,
sober.
All right, so there's the dance that evening. The main guy is apparently a good singer as well as a mechanic. Huh?
I thought she was the mechanic. Yeah, he's the
They're
rock
both
and roll
mechanics.
singer.
No, remember he was working on the bus?
They're
and all
trying
that?
to fix the bus.
Right.
The
So-
crystal baroque.
Okay, yeah, the doctor Okay, so there's so much going on in these episodes. It's going to take a while to explain, even though there's only 3 of them and they're only 23 minutes long.
What is the point of even explaining what happened?
Alright, so there was a crystal that needed to be put into the bus to replace the one that got broke by the satellite, but
Can we talk about Murray, the driver, who's like, I've lost my job, I've crashed the bus. The doctor's like, oh, don't worry, here's a crystal.
and he
goes,
breaks the crystal.
oh my gosh, thank you, you saved my career. 2 seconds he turns around, I broke it. It's like,
I'm also amazed that in space they use the same inches that we use. You wouldn't have to have 1 5/8. Oh, alright, here you go.
or was it the doctor that asked for it?
No, it was Murray.
Murray.
Yeah, you would have a 1
Maybe it
5/8.
has something to do with that arch he went through.
Alright. Okay, so anyway, yeah, everything in this serial is shoddy, and the people are shoddy, the sets are shoddy,
Well, why
companies are shoddy.
Why did they even write it in like the first part where he breaks the crystal? Because it's this whole cliffhanger of, oh no, we need this crystal, it's broken, and that's only on this one end of the solar system. The doctor's like, I have one.
Universe.
Yeah.
The doctor's like, this is the only one on this side of the universe, and he breaks it. And the doctor's
He's like, I can grow a new one.
Go into it. Yeah.
Why'd they even write in the first part? He could have just been like, I can grow a new one, but it's going to take 24 hours.
Contrived. That's the underlying
the
word
humor-
for the serial is contrived.
Just for the humor of Murray breaking the one.
He's a sad sack.
And then they immediately fix the issue, which is like, oh, I can grow a new one. It's just going to take longer.
But he's a sad sack. Think Mo and the Simpsons.
Who?
Mo Sislak,
Moe's
the
the bartender?
Yeah.
Like
a super sad sack.
What's the one in Winnie the Pooh? The donkey.
Eeyore.
Eeyore, yeah.
Life. Don't talk to me about life. Well, that's Marvin.
Eeyore's my spirit animal.
Alright. So anyway.
Bothered.
Yeah. Okay, so the doctor, after he breaks the crystal, says, "Oh, I can grow you a crystal," and then they have the dance. Everyone's dancing. The young lady likes the young guy. He friend-zoned her, but he likes
The 40-some-odd-year-old green woman.
right.
Queen Bee.
Yeah. So, but she's in a nice polka dot outfit now.
But she borrowed one from Mel.
But she's seriously cougaring him because, I mean,
Like, she winks
she
at him,
likes,
right?
she's like right at 40, late 30s, early 40s. He's like 20, and I mean, whatever, I don't care. But like, okay,
Well, everyone is so supportive. They're just like, oh, young love. And it's like, that's a little weird. This young boy
she's not quite that young.
just
but-
fell head over heels for this random alien. And then his poor Rachel is just like, oh no. Okay.
So she runs off and she's crying in the linen closet or linen hut, and the doctor finds her, and they're talking.
Why is it that they weren't supposed to be in the linen closet?
Nobody was supposed to be in there. A linen hut, not quite a closet, but nobody was supposed to be in there. I guess except staff.
And she wasn't staff. She just lived in
Close by and liked
um,
one of the guys who was staff.
Billy was staff. Okay.
Yeah, so the doctor and she get caught in there. by this Vinny guy.
The bus assassin Vinny.
Right.
Was that the same one on the bus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By this Vinny guy.
He's radioing in that he found the...
Right, he's radioing in. He's like, hey, this is the John Wick thing. Hey, I think I found your lady and stuff. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. You will get your just reward. And then the doctor sneezes.
Blows their cover. That's the end of episode 1.
Well, hold on. Vinny's like, okay, I will... You are the one they call a doctor. You're the time traveler.
How does he
know
that?
Well, to be fair, he was called the doctor in front of a bunch of people earlier.
But the time traveling...
And he probably knows about the TARDIS looking like a police box.
Okay.
So
because of flying alongside the bus.
Right, and saving the bus. So he's like, oh, you'll bring me even more money than she will. At the same time, the disco ball egg is hatching, and this little weird-looking green thing comes out, and they're screaming.
Yes.
End of episode 1, finally.
Alright. It is a ugly green thing that's coming out of that egg.
Yeah.
That's a big egg, so I don't even want to imagine how that was passed.
Cloaca
from
or whatever
humanoid,
the hell it was.
Yeah. Because the egg's like the size of a 2-year-old child.
No, the egg's about this big.
It comes out and there's like this 2-year-old green
The egg's about this big.
It has bumps on it too, so...
Yeah, that was
It's ribbed for...
Alright, that was the disco ball effect. Alright. Episode 2.
That's a big thing in Japanese porn.
What?
It's a fetish. Eggs? Laying eggs?
Really?
Yes.
Why do you tell me these things?
I don't know. I don't know why I know that. I wish I didn't. But if I have to, so do you.
There we go. Shangri-La. Alright.
Shangri-La.
Delta and The Bannermen. This is the guy in purple who apparently was a big thing back in the day, and his guest appearance was a big thing.
Oh, the conductor dude?
No.
Tollmaster?
Yeah.
Tollhorn?
Yeah.
He was a guest. He's like a celebrity or something?
I think he was a big deal back in the day.
Oh.
And, so, anyway. Okay, so,
It looks like he was playing tug of war, but instead of like holding onto the rope, he bit onto it. But then he lost. They took the rope out of his mouth.
Have you seen Squid Game?
I've seen Squid Game. I've seen Squid Game. That's a good one. I liked it.
Brutal. Brutal.
Yeah,
good.
The first game, I was just like, oh, that took a turn. I was not expecting that.
Turn left. Okay, sure.
I didn't know anything about this show. All I heard was, oh, it's so great, it's so great. And I was watching it up until they started sticking the scissors up his nose. I'm like, maybe this show's not for me.
Did you watch
I came back to it a month later and watched to the green light, red light thing.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh.
Did you like it?
I liked it, yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do.
I didn't like the scissor scene, but everything else I thought was very dark and interesting and intriguing.
Very Korean.
I assume they're kind of make a season 2 at some point, right?
They are.
Kind of left on a somewhat cliffhanger.
Yeah. They're supposed to be making season 2.
I'm excited.
Alright. Anyway, okay.
Do you like it? You like Squid Games?
Love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Alright, so the doctor and Rachel, is that her name?
Yeah, Rachel.
Are saved,
I think.
Because in episode 2, because Gavrok blows up the cell phone, the radio,
the pager
of the bad guy, the assassin, the John Wick assassin who was on the bus with the sideburns. The bus didn't have sideburns, he did. But they're knocked out. In the meantime, what's his face? Mikey? Billy?
Billy, yeah.
Billy brings flowers to the woman he somehow madly fell in love with on first sight, who is the Cimmerian Queen.
Very bizarre. So here's my theory, is that she's letting off some queen bee hormone.
Yeah.
Basically, that ensnares him. And that's why he falls so head over heels for her.
That's an interesting theory, actually.
Because she's trying to find a mate to preserve
to perpetuate the
species.
race. Yeah. So
and he has no questions.
And
it's just
and,
like,
and
I love
she
you.
may be doing it. She may be doing it consciously or subconsciously. It may just be a biological function,
I
like
assume
Musk.
They're evil. Wait, Musk? What about Musk? He
Well,
lets off a hormone.
Yeah, exactly.
Does he? Oh, because he's like
Because
wealthy.
she's putting it off because she's trying to. She's just
Oh,
laid an egg.
I thought you were talking about Elon Musk.
No. I'm
You're
talking about human
Musk.
Musk. Yeah. She may be doing it consciously or unconsciously. She may be emitting a musk that will attract a suitable mate to perpetuate the species, like many of us do.
And apparently he was suitable.
Yes.
Because he is compatible with baby food.
Well, we'll get to that. All right. So
weird.
So he shows up. He brings her flowers. This is after the dance. She's already confided in Mel. Mel's crashed out, and she's holding the baby because the baby came out the egg.
Baby, real quick, gets less gross and more baby-like.
So
the egg hatches. It's this grossest looking, like, little green baby prop.
Practical
and then the
effect.
next scene, it's like just an actual baby
in a little green suit
outfit.
with green tint. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank goodness. I did not want to look at that ugly.
Once again, no budget. There was no budget for this serial.
Yeah, they blew it all on the first one, and then they just had to use different actual people. They only had the one set piece.
So she... Okay, I really like your theory of
the hormone, the queen.
Yeah, the queen bee hormones.
Because it's just so bizarre how he's just like, I'm throwing everything away. With her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she was pretty, but yeah.
Okay. She was green.
Tinted slightly. Anyway, if you haven't figured it out by now, there's a giant correlation between the Cimmerians and bees in both the way they work and the way they mate and the way they live, and the bees come into play a little later in the serial.
Royal jelly.
Yeah, it's really hammered home the entire serial.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's like the only plot point was like, these aliens are like bees. And they're like, okay, let's write the plot. And then the writers were like, it's our lunch break. You guys figure out the rest.
Alright, so she starts explaining the whole thing. She's like, I'm an alien, yada, 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 yada. And then it cuts away.
We don't get to hear any of the explanation.
We have, like I said, it should be at least 4 episodes just to explain things. 6 in the old days when you'd see people do stuff rather than just hear about it.
Yeah.
But it just cuts away, and then it shows up, and this is a 2-day serial.
Oh, because
the first day, nighttime, second day. Everything happens in those 2 days.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I thought you meant like air date wise.
No, the entire serial was boom.
It was pretty. Yeah, kind of all the way through. Concurrent. There weren't like gaps in time where it's like, oh, they went to bed.
Yeah, no, it's just boom,
a little bit.
Boom, yeah.
I guess they did sleep through one night.
Right, there's the one night where Mel crashes out at the Shangri-La.
And then picks up on, and it's all the same day.
Yeah. Okay, so then the Bannermen are coming.
Yeah.
They had honed in on the signal from the guy, but they killed him. And they end up landing, and they run into the 2 Americans, and they capture them. And the Americans are wondering if their ship is the satellite, because we have never seen a satellite.
Yeah, it's like the 1950s satellite.
Yeah, well, the satellite itself was like this circular thing, but yeah, they have no idea what it is. So what do you do?
Around you? No.
He's got a nice electronic tablet now rather than an actual
This is
tablet.
my new notepad. Look, I can draw a TARDIS.
I mean, that's just a box.
Yeah, same thing. The TARDIS is a fancy box, which is a big box on the inside and a little blue box on the outside.
So anyway, the Doctor and Rachel wake up, and the Doctor's like, the Bannermen are coming. The Bannermen are coming. And apparently in the wider universe, everyone knows of the Bannermen. And they run off and they tell, the Major, what's his name?
Burton.
They tell the Major Burton, hey, this is it. And Burton's like, okay, so you're not this group. You're actually a bunch of spacemen. A bunch of other spacemen are coming to kill you. Did I get it right? They're like, yeah. There's like, great summation. He's like, okay,
Not buying it.
Yeah, not buying it. Afterwards, can we have space tea and buns? And there's like, I thought you might be skeptical. And he's like, well, can you show me your spaceship? And Rachel's like, yeah, can I see it too? And then the Doctor takes him to TARDIS, and
He's like, Rachel's like, I want to see it. And he goes, okay. And then he and Rachel walks out, and Burton's like, well, are they not joking?
Maybe this is real. And they come out of the TARDIS, and Burton's walking around and going, what the hell? The inside's bigger than the outside thing.
But we know all that at this point, so they just skip every single
they
Dr.
skip so
Jose
much. Okay,
that you already know.
So we were missing an entire episode of explanation and 2 episodes of people doing stuff, showing it to us, rather than just the boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And the 2 episodes of let's go here, let's go there. Someone else gets captured. In the old days,
So
none of that's here.
If you had not seen any Doctor Who before, and this was your first serial you ever watched, it will probably be your last serial you ever watch.
It's incredibly frenetic, like I said.
And like, if you don't know all the Doctor Who stuff going on, it's just because it just assumes that you know all that, and it skips it all.
There's a more frenetic serial coming up.
Oh boy, is it 3 episodes?
Yes.
It's like just as fast paced.
No, it's faster.
Oh, is it a McCoy?
Yes. And I've seen it 3 or 4 times. I still can't tell you what it's about.
I like McCoy.
I couldn't summarize the plot to save my life.
It's not McCoy's fault, but he's quickly becoming my least favorite Doctor.
The serial is called Gaslight.
But it's not his fault. It's the show's fault.
Here's the thing. One of the best serials ever is during the McCoy era.
Oh. See, like, he's a good actor. It's not his, it's all he had to work with at this point.
Oh, the editing is so choppy. Alright, so anyway, alright, so the Major...
They gotta evacuate the camp.
Burton, right?
Burton. Evacuating the camp.
Yeah, he gets...
Before the warband comes.
They're like, hey, he's like, okay, the Bannermen are coming. And, what's his face? Miller? Or...
Billy?
No.
Vinny.
No.
Barunwi.
The guy who drives the bus.
Oh, Murray.
Murray.
Yeah, that one right.
Anyway, Mel tells Murray, hey, the Bannermen are coming. He's like, oh, no, crap. Get everyone together. And they get everyone together, and everyone from the space people know that the Bannermen are bad, and they're load up and they get on the bus to get out of there.
At this point, the hatchling baby is like toddler size now.
Yeah, and keeps getting bigger.
And we see her getting fed with a syringe with green ooze or something. Is that
right? She's gonna double, triple, quadruple in size over the next few hours. So the Major then sends all his staff away. It's like, go, everyone go.
I forgot about this part.
Which part?
So the staff evacuate, and then all the space people are getting on the space bus, And Murray doesn't break the crystal this time. It's done growing.
Yeah, he's walking around with it growing and growing. Come on, finish growing.
Yeah,
because it was going to take 24 hours.
Is going on, yeah. And we see the baby growing up and eating green sludge and then hanging out with Billy, what the doctor's doing. And they get the bus up and running and they all get on the bus.
Yep.
And it's just without any explanation. Just
No. Gravok destroyed it.
Yeah, but it was so sudden. It was just
Yeah, so anyway.
So it's this extremely goofy episode that's all like slapstick and silly, and then just an entire bus of people.
And then 40-something people die on the bus. Okay, so Gavrok shows
You're
up.
just like, whoa. I wasn't expecting that.
Gavrok shows up, blows up the bus, and takes Mel and Burton hostage.
This is where they said something about the bee beckons queen.
That's a little bit later.
Is that with the baby screeching or something? Is that what they're talking about? Or was that Garunwi talking about his bees? I thought they were trying to correlate something with the bees.
They were doing a lot of that, yeah. Okay, so anyway, Gavrok shows up, blows up the bus full of 40-something people. All those aliens, all dead. Mel was staying to meet the doctor with the TARDIS. Okay. In the meantime, who's the guy? Groton or whatever?
The bad guy?
No.
Garunwi, the beekeeper.
Garunwi.
Oh, making under the food all the way with the wheels for.
This guy was probably a character actor back in the day. Great guy. Great actor. Anyway, he keeps bees.
And he's odd. Intentionally an odd character, because he...
Yeah, eclectic, eccentric.
Talks about, the bees in a weird way.
Well, not only that...
He's just a weird guy.
Yeah.
He talks about his honey jars like they're vintages of wine. He's like, oh, this was a good year for honey. 1968 Royal Honey.
38.
Honey doesn't expire.
Never.
But it does crystallize, doesn't it?
Depends on how sealed the jar is.
Okay. His just look like mason jars with little cloths.
No, if it's properly sealed, honey will last millennia.
Or until someone knocks the shelf over.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Alright, so Garunwi's weird. He's talking about the bees beckoning the queen.
Not only that, but he's talking about the lights and all that other weird stuff that he sees in the night.
The agents come up to ask him questions.
Before they're captured.
Weissmuller and Hawk.
Like I said, a lot happens in this, and it's like the Benny Hill chase. It's so fast.
Have you seen anything strange? And he's like,
everything is
strange. They're like, what about the sky? Anything fall out of the sky? It's like, there's lots of strange things in the sky. Stars.
No. Have you seen any strange thing on the sky? I've seen lots of things on the sky, but nothing you consider strange. But I've seen lots of strange things in the sky, like the lights and the comets and this and that. And
he's a weird dude.
But he's a good character. And
yeah. But he can't answer a question straight, which is all the agents want.
Well, and the entire serial ends on him smiling.
It was a nice little...
I'm going to go use the restroom. You try to advance the plot as much as you can.
So we got Garunwi there, twiddling about his bees. This is after the bus exploded, so we have Billy with Delta. Remember the river? They just had their picnic. And then the doctor and Rachel, they hopped in the motorcycle, ran down to the beach, formed them. So they're all 4 of those people are together now. However, back at Shangri-La, Mel and Burton are captured by the Bannermen. So then, after Delta, the doctor, Rachel, and Billy talk to Garunwi about bees for a little while, and they're trying to figure out a plan, and they're in the little bee hut, and there's jars, and they're setting up a booby trap, and then the doctor's like, I gotta go free the hostages. It's just another infuriating scene that just makes no sense because they're trying to rely on these doctor tropes, except they're not really well written. So they try to write in the scene where the doctor goes in and just like is overconfident and pretends like he belongs there and he's in charge and kind of socially engineers the situation and to, you know, making people think that he knows what he's doing. And but they don't actually do any of that. So what actually happens is the doctor just walks up and he's trying to talk like he's in charge. And it oddly kind of works at first, like the guards are helping him untie the hostages. But then obviously it's not real well written, so they don't fall for it. So as soon as the doctor's walking away with Burton and Mel back to the motorcycle and they're all pointing guns at him, he's like, okay, this didn't work, you know. Maybe I was a little overconfident. It's like, well, obviously they weren't buying that act, the shtick. Because in practice, all he really did was show up and go, I'm taking these hostages. He just used a few more words than that. So obviously Gavrok is just going to be like, no. So they're held at gunpoint while after they set up the booby trap. And they're rooting around Shangri-La. They're trying to figure out how they're going to escape, how to take care of the Bannermen simultaneously because the bus exploded, but they still have to get the Delta and the Chimera and Baby, and Billy wants to go with them, you know, off the planet. And poor Mr. Burton, he just wants his Shangri-La campgrounds back because he has another bus on the way or something. But that's basically the end of episode 2. The big cliffhanger is when he's walking away with the hostages, and then they hold him all at gunpoint, and the doctor's just like, well, that didn't work. Obviously it didn't work.
Oh, it was balls of steel, that whole scene.
So here's my complaint. I was explaining how they're relying on Doctor Who tropes, and the trope where the doctor is he comes in, he acts, and he's very confident, and he acts like he's in charge and he belongs there. He kind of socially engineers the situation, and then he gets away with it, but you have to write the scene well. So they try to rely on that trope, but they didn't know how to write the scene. So they just wrote the trope not working because he didn't actually like socially engineer them or anything. He just walks up and he's like, help me untie these hostages. And Gavrok's just like, no.
Well, to be fair, there was a reason he did that he let them go.
He did. So that's what's frustrating is the end of episode 2, the cliffhanger is they're all being held at gunpoint. And he just, episode 3, lets him go anyway.
And you're like, what?
You're like, so it's not a cliffhanger.
But, well,
nothing makes any sense.
Most cliffhangers, I mean, the guy survives. That's the whole point of cliffhanger. So the doctor gets away, but you find out it's because
the cliffhanger was they didn't get away. And in the beginning of episode 3, the bad guy's like, okay, go away.
Not exactly. He just doesn't fire at them. Alright, so the doctor...
The doctor's whole plan was just like, I had a white flag. You have to respect the white flag.
Yeah.
It's like at no point did this guy give you any impression that he respects rules of the battlefield or something.
Oh, parlay.
He's just like shooting people in the back.
Yeah, shot the nice guy with the bad teeth in the back, yeah. And the whole bus full of innocent people.
Just blew him up.
Alright, so the doctor gets away. But we find out that's because they put a tracking device on his motorcycle.
He also... So he let the doctor and the hostages, Burton and Mel, get away because at some point he found out that Delta wasn't on the bus that they blew up.
Right.
So he's using them to try and find...
Not only that...
But it doesn't explain any of that.
But you know, he found out because she showed up in the sidecar as they were coming up and then as they turned away.
It's a very frustrating series.
Alright, so he's trying to track the doctor.
Just lets him leave.
Trying to track him to get to Delta.
At this point, the green thing is like the size of a child.
Child. Yay big, yeah. So...
And she's still getting fed by the weird Teenage Mutant Ninja
green
Turtle
stuff, yeah.
green news syringes.
So Billy steals some of the green syringes goop And he starts feeding himself because he so loves Delta that he's willing to do anything, even risk his life, to become her species. Like I said, I like the pheromones thing on that. That's really good.
Or he could have just been a regular dude.
Just head over heels for her, yeah.
That's what dudes do.
Don't know. Even though she was kind of cougarish, yeah.
Sonic cone.
Alright, so...
After Gavrok lets the hostages leave, he puts the sonic cone on the TARDIS as a booby trap because it has this invisible electro field, sonic field that ionizes anything that comes into it.
Alright.
So he's planning on having them die before they can escape, and he's just using them to find...
Right. So the Doctor ends up inadvertently leading them to mostly... What's his name? Garash or...
Gavrok? The bad guy?
No. The beekeeper.
Oh, Garinwi?
Garinwi's house. Yeah. Ends up leading to mostly the Garinwi's house, except he tied the beacon around the neck of a goat.
Yeah, the tracking device. They pull it off the... It doesn't explain that. It's just like, Mel, give me your hair ribbon. But there's a continuity error because she still has a hair ribbon in the following scene.
Don't ask questions. All right.
And then they get cornered. So luckily they get away. Because not only did he set up the bee honey booby trap, but also... Did they split up? So the some of the Bannermen almost catch Delta and Billy, but at this point the green baby thing is like teenager size,
right? And
then she just screeches out.
Right. She uses so apparently, in order to stave off Bannermen or whomever, the Cimarrons have a sonic note device that allows them to pierce the eardrums, essentially, of enemies. It's
also just like a part of their puberty or something. They called it a singing age or something.
Yes, the singing time.
Yeah. So it's a self-defense mechanism for babies. Even though babies are only like a baby for a day until they're
right.
much
and they have
teenager.
They have one pitch for music, and they have one pitch for self-defense / warning.
So that helps them escape. Meanwhile, Grunwy's house is sophisticately booby-trapped, we think, but not really. It's just a cloth under the door. And they storm it, and they pulls the door open, right?
Well, they storm in, and then all the honey comes down.
As he pulls the door open, it knocks the shelf.
And the honey...
And that's the booby trap. And you're like, oh, that's lame. It's like, what, a Home Alone? But then the bees are attracting the honey.
And they get all the stings on their faces, and that's kind of neat. So, funny. The Doctor and everybody make it back to the camp.
Yeah, they're back at Shangri-La. And this is when Delta catches Billy drinking the baby food syringes.
Right.
Which is real weird.
Yeah. And she's like, wait, how are you hiding from him?
How did he know that, like, the baby didn't need all of those syringes for its development? Like, he could have taking the baby's food.
So he's changing into a member of her species. Even though she's like, this has never been tried on humans. Hey, wait.
Apparently it works.
What's the word?
What word? Cloaca?
No. for the cereal.
Goofy?
Contrived.
Oh,
yeah, it just contrived. It works. Yeah.
Luckily
it works. So he's turning into one of her people because apparently their species are compatible or something like that.
Making their last stand against the Bannermen at the Shangri-La. So we get another Doctor Who trope of the base defense.
And they put up the speaker that he had built from parts from the war.
That they're using for their dance party.
Yeah, and the little princess goes and gives an intonation.
Never once says her name. She doesn't have a name.
Yeah. Well, It's hardly old.
Never even
name.
referred
It's like
to.
a day.
They hardly acknowledge her throughout the whole thing.
Wait. Can you... Okay. And so she intones a note that shatters the eardrums of everyone around.
Yeah, the microphone. And
Right.
it's amplified over the speaker on the roof.
Which is why the Major had to put in the earplugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of the Mars Attacks scenario.
Yeah.
And all the bad guys are essentially subdued. Gravok ends up stumbling, deafened into his own trap to stop
eardrum
the
shattered.
tires. Yeah.
He loses his
Sense of balance.
your inner ear. He falls into his own cone. What was it called? Sonic
cone. Yeah.
Which luckily he's a big guy, so he exactly uses up whatever's left in the battery.
Mm-hmm.
After shocking one of the agent's hand and burning a stick a couple of times.
Yeah.
It burns up Gavrok, and then it's out of juice.
Yeah.
Which is
contrived.
Yeah.
So the whole serial's contrived. So Gavrok dies. The remaining alive Bannermen are captured,
tied up, and then put on the space tank ship.
Well, yeah, their own ship that Delta is leaving with the princess and the transmogrified Billy.
He's now brain tinted.
Yep. The doctor goes, "Oh, gentlemen, I believe this is your satellite," to the two Americans.
Yeah, he distracts the agents.
Yeah. And they're like, "Hey, we found the satellite. Great."
And Burton's distracted by the next bus of travelers, tourists pulling up to Shangri-La.
Right.
So the only person that notices the doctor and Mel sneak off back into the TARDIS is Garunwi. He just kind of gives that
kind of a knowing wink.
Yeah.
And Rachel had taken off with the Vincent, the bike
got
with
to
the
keep the
sidecar. Yeah.
Which is, I'd prefer that over Billy anyway. So I think she won.
It's a better ride. Okay, so lots of sadness, tons of contrivances.
Very goofy though. It's
very goofy and a little bit of happy ending.
Dark, weird, goofy.
All right, do you have a pitch to keep away people?
What? A pitch to, like an elevator? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I've got one.
I bet. I think you showed us on the podcast once, right? Your high note?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the kind that shatters glass.
Yeah, like really up there. That how the
even-
hell is this guy doing it?
I don't even think the camera could pick it up. I was watching it, and your note goes up, and it's just like, it's beyond what the...
Yeah, I think I did it once for the podcast. But yeah, I mean, it's possible to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
I can do it.
I can't do...
Yeah, you can't. But it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. What did you think of the serial overall?
Hated it. Every single episode was having me face palm and eye roll while simultaneously scratching my head trying to keep up. But there wasn't anything to keep up with. It's just nothing made sense. I had a few questions about like, well, what about the other bus? But it just never showed up, so I...
What are the questions
like-
you have?
All of the questions are like, but what if this were to go horribly wrong? Which it was most likely, and the answer was, no, it just happened to work out fine, perfectly, coincidence, no problem. So everything is just...
I lost the love of my life,
Oh.
but I've got a motorbike. Okay, sure. Like this stuff just happened to make me compatible with your species.
I have the same question for each episode. So episode 1, 2, and 3 is just
What the hell?
divine intervention? Divine intervention? Oh, divine intervention.
Oh.
So other than that, we had some Doctor Who notes.
Okay, in terms of classic Doctor Who, the first season or two of McCoy is pretty much the nadir. The
Nader.
Nader, the low point.
Oh.
Just like Ralph Nader, the Green Party candidate.
I hear in
He was a low point.
Jersey Shore they called less attractive women grenades.
Why?
I don't know.
You got to jump on them and they'll kill everyone?
I'm assuming it's... one of my favorites was Butterface.
Butterface.
Yeah, you know what that one means?
No.
She's hot. Butterface, not so much. Great body. She's really attractive. Butterface, not so much.
Well, you know
Because of Butterface.
You know the bag thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what a two-bag woman is, right?
Oh no! Why does she need 2 bags?
No. One bag for her, one bag for you, in case her bag falls off.
Gotta have that extra layer of protection there.
Oh my gosh! Horrible! I love it. Okay, so any questions at all?
I have one question.
What?
What's the male equivalent to those sexist jokes we were saying?
I don't know, but I'm sure that
I don't think
I'm sure that women tell different jokes.
So we would like to know in the comments below what the Chad equivalent to a Butterface is. I'm sure it's like some acronym for a small wiener or something.
Well, it's probably an incel.
That's a good one. Involuntarily celibate.
Yeah, it used to be incel, but they dropped the V because it didn't really work in the word.
Oh
Yeah, so
it sounds better as
became
incel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be like the white knighting, or the redditors, or the mob. Those are really just men insulting men. I'm kind of curious what like women use to insult men. I guess we already know. I guess it's not like a direct equivalent. I keep thinking there's...
Well, okay, there are words for...
I'm trying to think of a sexist man joke. I don't think there's...
Well, it's mostly about the inability to be sexist. To be
mansplaining.
So,
that's a man trope.
Yeah. Or
As if you're a man
spreading.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got a lot of junk there. So, I saw a video.
Some people do.
Thank you. I saw a video.
Yeah, I'm quite comfortable.
I saw a video where they gave women something that simulated the man's junk, right?
Yeah.
To wear. And they were...
That sounds like a great video.
And they were sitting on a bus or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they're like... And they do what men do. And they're like, how do you... This is uncomfortable. How do you cope with it? It's like, we do exactly that.
Yeah.
And it's like... And they're like, well... Some of the women were like, well, now we understand why you do that. I mean, and they're like, oh, yes, thank you.
I just kind of tuck it up.
I just tie mine in knots.
Over my shoulder. Gross.
Wait, you know that song, right?
The Continental Soldier?
Yeah. Can you throw it over your shoulder like a Continental Soldier? Yeah.
I thought I was talking about earlobes. Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro?
Do your balls hang low? Do they
Is that what?
to and fro? Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in a bow? Can you throw them over your shoulder like a Continental Soldier? Do your balls hang low?
That's the original lyrics?
No, that's my lyrics. It's not the original lyrics. Do they go ding dong when you hit them like a gong? That's my lyrics. Eh?
I remember when I realized the difference between the rifle and the gun, and that this is my rifle, this is my gun.
Mm-hmm.
Because they say this is my, and then they grab their crotch and say this is my gun.
All right. Anyway, not the greatest story for McCoy at all.
I liked McCoy.
I do like some of the characters.
I didn't like the script, the plot.
Okay, I like
the vices.
I like Garanaway or whatever the hell his name was.
I didn't even like him that much.
Really?
He's weird. He's really weird.
I liked his mannerisms and outlook.
Like, I get that he was the odd character.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little too odd. Even for the serial, it was nothing but weird and odd.
Did you like Billy or Rachel?
No,
Or
I hated
Delta?
Billy. Billy was weird. He was like, oh, a 40-year-old green woman. Bye, Rachel. My lifelong companion.
To be fair, I love your theory on why,
That's
and
the
that makes
only
sense to
thing.
me.
It's the
That
only
makes
thing that
sense to
could
me.
explain it. Because that's such a weird thing for Billy to do. It's just like, I must turn green. I'm stealing the baby food.
All right.
It's like, what was wrong with Rachel?
No, nothing. She was cute. She was really cute.
She didn't have queen bee hormones, apparently.
Exactly. And I think she got friend zoned a long time ago. Okay, next serial is Dragonfire.
Dragonfire.
Yep, 3 episodes. All right.
Is that our new average?
Okay,
Threes?
so they're gonna alternate between 3 and 4 because there's only 14 episodes a season from now until the classic stuff finishes. Dragonfire. Alright. So that's the
Handwriting's not any better on here.
Yeah. So that next week, Dragonfire. And once again 3 episodes. And that'll be the end of the season. So we can do our
I can vote on the
best of. Yeah.
How many seasons does McCoy have?
3.
3. And this is our first McCoy season.
Correct. But they're all only 14 episodes.
They're smaller
4
seasons.
serials. Yeah. All boom, 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 boom. It's done. All right. Doctor Who news in the real world.
Yeah.
All right. Season 25.
We're on this segment.
All right. Season 25.
This is never going to get old.
Alright, so next season for us, because we're on season 24. Season 25 is coming out on Blu-ray.
It's not out yet on Blu-ray? Like,
No.
it's just coming out on Blu-ray.
No, it'll be coming out on Blu-ray with the box set for the season.
So we're kind of outrunning the Blu-ray releases at this point.
Well, it just depends. They've been coming out the Blu-ray releases for a long time.
They don't
but they're not in order.
Why do they do that?
Well, partly to promote different doctors, and partly because the first 6 seasons aren't complete yet until they do the animations.
But I feel like they jump around a lot with what they animate. And
but with the 60th
re-release.
anniversary, they're kind of celebrating the 25th anniversary by bringing out the 25th season. So
it's always for marketing.
yeah.
It's always to make an extra buck.
Alright. Well, I mean, do what you do, you know. So the 25th season.
I don't think it'd be that hard to just put out all the Blu-rays.
Well, no.
You just burn it to a Blu-ray.
No,
They're doing all the upscaling and everything.
Well, yeah, but there's also a bunch of extras they're putting on the Blu-rays.
Oh yeah, don't they have like interviews with?
Right, interviews with the actors and actresses and directors, writers, producers.
That makes it worth
Behind the scenes stuff. There's a lot of extras that they have to work on.
Do you watch any of the extras?
I haven't much thus far, but I'm probably going to get into it soon.
Do you think you're gonna go back through and do a whole watch through of just the extras?
Probably. I would have.
That sounds rough.
No, it's good stuff.
I feel like you gotta watch the extras after watching the episode.
But I mean, here's the Blu-rays and then the season, and they're slowly but surely doing.
Well, you'll have to wait, for all the Blu-rays to come out to be able to do the extra watch through.
It'll take another 4 or 5 years.
Extras.
But anyway, so they're coming out with the 25th season soon, and we watched tonight's 24th season serial on Blu-ray because it's out, and so is the 26th. Just on the 25th, but it's
I'm so glad we got to watch this upscaled and in 4K with the green face paint.
It's coming out in the UK later this month, October, and the US we don't have a date yet.
We never knew.
But other Doctor Who news, okay? There may be a delay on season 2.
So season 2
Series 15
is
of Doctor Who.
Shutai's first season, right?
No, second.
Oh, I thought the first season was Shutai and we went back to
Tenet for the specials.
Oh, just the specials was Tenet. Okay,
Right.
that's right.
Tenet came back as the 14th Doctor for the specials.
And then Shutai Gat was the 15th?
Yes, the 15th Doctor.
Starting in season 1.
Well,
and now he's doing season 2.
What they're calling season 1, which, not to be confused with the 1963-64 season 1.
So it's kind of like a second revival, even though it never got canceled in between.
Second or third? Or fourth? Alright, so you have the original run of 26 seasons.
Yes.
You have the revival as a TV movie. Then you have the modern revival in 05.
Oh yeah, the TV movie.
Yeah, then you have the modern revival in 05.
Mm-hmm.
And this is I wouldn't call this a revival so much as a reset.
They also tried to do the animated thing, and then they
Correct.
threw that out the window.
Well, no. Now it's been canonized.
Oh, they did canonize it.
They have canonized it by including
Didn't
Richard E. Grant's face in one of the modern episodes that I haven't seen yet because it's not out here in the States.
Well, that canonizes his face, but didn't they specifically say that this is not canon?
In the past, but it's now been canonized.
Just the Doctor's face, though.
Well,
Or
that Doctor.
Yeah.
Richard E. Grant's Doctor is.
So you consider all of
canonized.
Scream of the Shockwaves canonized? Yeah.
It looks that way, yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
So we're gonna watch that.
Yes, I need to see the episode. Well, we were gonna watch it anyway, but I need to see the episode to make sure it counts.
Canon?
We're watching all the non-canon stuff.
But I thought that was like a separate thing. We weren't watching in order with the.
Right, but I need to see it to make sure it's canonized so that we watch it as part of the show.
Okay.
So So
your homework.
The 60th anniversary specials are coming out here in the States. Looks like November, December.
But we don't have a confirmed date yet.
I think it's a confirmed date.
Oh.
November, December. Which is only a year late, which is stupid. But we don't have a date yet for Series 1. Or Season 1 or whatever. But here's the most interesting.
So they're already filming Season 2. And
they filmed Season 2. It's in the can.
They're done filming Season 2. We still don't have Season 1 yet in America?
Yeah.
We're way behind.
Yes, Disney created a year delay on everything.
You ever think about getting BritBox? Or they don't have streaming rights to Doctor Who. It has to be on Disney Plus.
Okay, in the United Kingdom and Ireland, the British Isles, BritBox has all that. So everywhere else in the world is Disney.
Oh, so even if you subscribe to BritBox, it would be region locked unless you did a VPN to a different IP. Ew.
Okay, now here's the interesting. Disney is riding their ship.
Yeah.
Okay? Disney realized that losing billions of dollars on
a lot of money in the last
woke
several
crap.
Films.
Yeah. Prior to this year, losing billions of dollars on woke crap wasn't going to sustain them in the long run. You can't lose billions. You can't piss off your fan base. You do that, you lose. You go out of business.
A lot of companies have been doing that lately.
Yeah. Some survive, some don't. Many survive in a diminished capacity, like Gillette or Coors Light or whatever. But Disney, nobody's going to their parks. Nobody's seeing their movies.
They just closed down their Star Wars hotel.
Yeah. So they realized they were losing so much money because of the woke garbage that this year, to their credit, they have been riding the ship. Fact, they got rid of Rachel Ziegler, the young lady who was very woke and anti-Israeli and didn't like.
Did they get rid of the Star Wars director?
Rumor, they've been. You talking about Kathleen Kennedy?
That one.
Yeah.
Oh, she was the worst.
Rumor. Fact, they've been getting rid of a bunch of people just out of necessity. Wow. Rumor is those people are all DIE people, okay? So they've been getting rid of the garbage diversity hires. And the people who were going woke for woke's sake. Fact, there are only 2 movies this year were not woke. Inside Out 2 and Deadpool vs. Wolverine.
Oh, I love Deadpool vs. Wolverine.
It was great.
I haven't seen Inside Out 2, but I would have assumed that they would have pushed some like agendas. Because they're talking about gay emotions showing up in the headers.
Like, rumors. They forced...
Oh, you think they corrected?
They course corrected and removed a lot of that gay stuff from Inside Out 2.
That makes sense.
All right. So it looks like they finally understand that their audience, there is no modern woke audience. They
families,
right? They have to cater.
Watch Disney.
They have to cater to the traditional wholesome family.
That's who's buying,
which is what Disney always did.
Yeah.
Up until
they're just
90s.
trying to like change their target demographic.
Right, to a demographic that doesn't exist.
It's just such a bizarre business strategy.
Right. Well, the problem is you have investment companies like BlackRock and Vanguard that come in and say, you have to do this, and it ends up destroying the company.
I wouldn't think that Disney would need like outsider investments. Like
they've got a lot of stocks out there. When you have 100 million stocks out there,
yeah, that's good.
Somebody buys up 10 million of them. Yeah. They come in, they get to have a seat on the board and tell you a bit what to do. You know, they own 10% of your company. Another fact is they have been removing anything problematic off of Disney Plus. They took the Indiana Jones movies off of Disney Plus because of the last one. They've been taking other shows off of Disney Plus, moving them to Hulu and other platforms, Paramount for Indiana Jones. Now here's the thing. Here's how it connects to Doctor Who. Because of their relationship with Doctor Who, currently they're funding it. We don't know the exact amount they're funding it or the exact details or percentage.
I got so confused because I thought it was being produced by like a Sony company.
Bad Wolf that Sony owns.
So they're
Bad Wolf Studios
producing it, but they're not actually putting any funding into like the marketing and distribution.
That's Sony. Okay, here's the problem: it's all a fog.
Because I thought Sony would be their own streaming platform that they would distribute it on like.
No, Sony owns Bad Wolf.
Yes,
but there was the deal the day before. It was announced the day before Sony bought Bad Wolf. Mm-hmm. There was the deal about Disney producing, or not producing, but funding Doctor Who. Right. Yeah. So the rumor is, and this is all conjecture and rumor, but it's based off of the other facts and rumors I stated. The conjecture is that next year's Doctor Who might be delayed by a season or two, from spring to summer or fall, because Disney is trying to get away from the woke crap that's destroying them. And seasons 1 and 2 of Shutaigatwa were filmed at the same time and are filled with a bunch of woke garbage.
So you think they're doing reshoots?
Yes. Oh. So Disney is doing a ton of reshoots on Captain America 4 and on Snow White.
Oh, they've already changed that. So they went from the regular people, and they're like, no, they need to be little people, and then they made them into animated dwarves, but they're still human 6 foot.
Yeah. So
it just kept going.
So Disney's trying to salvage these projects that were created during the woke period. They've blown $400-500 million on.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make them palatable to the mainstream people. I don't know if it'll work, but they're doing tons of reshoots. So the theoretical rumor is that they're trying to do the same thing to Doctor Who because they have that much control over it. So I haven't seen the 60th anniversary specials from last year. I definitely haven't seen the season one from this year.
You think they might be different by the time they make it over here?
Wait. During the anniversary specials in the first season, or are you talking about
they're
season
doing
2?
Course correction and reshoots for season 2.
No,
Do you think they'll change?
I think what's been broadcast will probably stay what was broadcast, but I think the reshoots would be in season 2.
You know, there's a conspiracy going around about those like BlackRock investment companies. They're pushing agendas. There's this gaming company, and they're making just these dog awful video games that were filled. I can't remember. Was it
Cybersoft?
Ubisoft?
Ubisoft, yeah.
Yeah.
Ubisoft, yeah.
They were intentionally crashing the stock prices because they were or this is what they're accused of. They're fighting in court right now. But some of the investors were accusing the other investors of intentionally putting out terrible games to crash the stock prices so they could go in and buy up the majority of the company again and then take over control. So I'm wondering if that's like, I think it is just a conspiracy theory, but it's interesting.
Yeah, but no.
Except in the case of Ubisoft, that might be real.
There's a bunch of the get woke go broke stuff is real, and there's a bunch of companies that have they uglify characters. They make characters ugly because how dare a male gaze upon a beautiful body of a woman. So they make them ugly and fat and big and
yeah. I was reading these articles about liberals were like, why are conservatives so attracted to Sydney Sweeney and traditionally beautiful women? It's like
because they're beautiful women.
It's like that's just how things have always worked. It's not a new phenomenon.
I mean, okay. You wanna see beautiful women? Go to church. Seriously, conservatives, especially Christian conservative women, are generally gorgeous. You know,
Mormons, they very pretty, conversion by marriage. You're like, you want to be my husband? You gotta convert. You gotta be Mormon. Works. Or species about to go extinct, just hormones. Hey, Billy.
Yeah. We're gonna sell the bees hormones, and you're gonna suddenly want to join my species to keep us alive. Yeah.
Drink baby food.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Any other Doctor Who news?
Oh, that's the big stuff because there's only 6 episodes released this year. There's not a whole lot of news.
Slow. Stuff's moving so slow all the time.
Correct, and we're catching up with it, but yay, sesquicentennial episode.
Sasquatch-tennial.
The only reason I know that word is because I graduated in 1986.
Sasquatch?
No, sesquicentennial, which was Texas's sesquicentennial of independence.
Can you say it 3 times fast?
No. Not at all.
I can't even say it once.
Alright,
what's our next cereal? Pex is alive. Pex!
yes!
I forgot about Pex.
Yes, it's still up there.
That's a several-month-old reference.
Well, yeah, because it's been 4 months since our last episode. Alright, the next one is Dragonfire.
Oh yeah, I wrote that down.
Yes, you did.
I don't know why that's Dragon. Join us next time
He's not been drinking.
as we watch Dragonfire, which will be better than Delta and The Bannermen. Hopefully, about the same.
All right. Coming up in the next season, it will be Ghostlight or Gaslight.
Another McCoy one.
Yeah, which I've watched 3 or 4 times. And
That's the good one, right?
No.
Oh, it's the.
I still can't tell you what it's about.
But he has a good one though, right? McCoy.
Oh yes.
Okay.
He's got one coming up that is quintessentially amazing.
So we have another weird Delta Bannerman one with fire. Then we have an even weirder one with Gaslight. And then we have a good one. Not specifically in that order, though. But that's what you and
pretty
I.
much in that order.
That's what you and I get to look forward to.
All right.
Is just as weird, even weirder, and they're really good. Which kind of seems like status quo for Doctor Who.
Well, the Happiness Patrol
You get some real
is pretty bad.
weird Happiness Patrol.
The Happiness Patrol.
Oh, that
With one of the worst
Sounds-
bad guys in Doctor Who ever.
is he a happiness dictator?
He's the Candyman.
Oh boy, Candyman.
I do like Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
Wasn't the Candyman the villain in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Yeah. Ghostlight is a serial right before The Curse of Fenric, which is Ghostlight is so messed up and bad. Curse of Fenric is so amazing, and they're subsequent serials.
See, it's like sometimes the writers came back off a strike and wrote one episode and then left again. And the film crew was like, this just happens to work out, sure.
Alright, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Dragonfire!
Mm-hmm.
How long was this one?